Good morning. Today we're going to see a topic on the basics of Foundry. And first, before going to see on basic of Foundry, what is manufacturing? Manufacturing is nothing but making a component from the raw materials with the machine operations. Here, the definition is the manufacturing is the product creations or productions of goods with the help of equipment, labor, machines, tools, and chemical or biological processing of formulations. This is the essence of secondary sector of the economy. And then manufacturing is the process where starting material here and it is having the power, labor, machinery, and then tooling will complete as a processed product, and remaining the waste or scrap will be disposed. This is about manufacturing. We have types of manufacturing, where first one is the casting, second one is the molding, forming, additive manufacturing, machining, joining, and then coating. Casting is nothing but we making the material to the mold and making on component. Molding like injection molding, blow molding, extrusion molding, rotational molding, and then powder metallurgy. You have different types. Forming, the forging, bending, and then stamping, sharing. These are some of the processing of forming types. And then machining, we know that in mechanical and the manufacturing we have more machining operations like milling, and then turning, shaping, drilling, honing, and the finishing. Joining of material is nothing but we have welding operations. We have seen the last class joining of two materials, soldering, brazing, and then adhesive joining, fastening, coating. The powder coating is also one of the coating operations, and the electroplating and sputtered operations. Additive manufacturing is one of the concept where newly introduced in the mechanical called the layer by layer completions of the product with the 3D printing. These are some of the examples of the forming process. Forming is the process in which the shape of partly finished product like sheet metal, rolling, forging, extrusion, drawing, and these are some of the concepts were made through the forming operations. Foundry operations. Now we're going to see detailed about the foundry operations, which raw metal converts into the complex components by these melting, molding, and then solidifying. This is a versatile process where from all the automotive parts to the construction materials, this is one of the backbone using in the manufacturing industry. And then why the foundry process are very important. Foundry processes form the industrial backbone that enables modern manufacturing and modern manufacturing from massive infrastructure components from massive infrastructure components into the intricate decorative elements. Casting technology makes possible what other the manufacturing methods cannot achieve. This is why the foundry operations are very important, and the all the components which made in mechanicals we use the foundry operations. As a step in the foundry operations, raw material where it may be the metal, sand, wood, chemicals, whatever the thing in the foundry, we use as a raw material. And then the melting process, the metal melted and molten state with the passed into uh, the mold to make a component. Mold preparations and the core productions, we have cope and track operations to make that liquid state metal into that one. And then casting, that is one of the type where the foundry operations, and then molding, cooling, finishing, and then packaging. Where understanding each phase of foundry operations is essential for manufacturing excellence. From initial patent creations to final inspections, every step requires precision and expertise to produce high quality cast components. This is about the steps in foundry operations. I think we have seen the basics of manufacturing process. Likewise, we have the steps in the foundry operations. This is the sand and then mold. We have the pattern making, core making. This is the first thing we have do it in the foundry operations. Then sand is to make fix the mold, and then melting of metal with the furnace with the heating temperature to the particular temperature, pouring of metal into the mold, solidification and cooling, shakeout and removal, and then heat treatment, cleaning and finishing, and then inspections for defects and dimensions. This is about the foundry steps where pattern creation